Hi, my name is Neil Manigold. I am a senior manager here on the Minecraft education team. We're coming to you live again from ISTE 2017 here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm here with two of our fine Minecraft mentors, and what we want to do first is have the two of you introduce yourselves. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and what you teach.
I'm Melissa Rinchi. I come from Nikola Tesla STEM High School in Redmond, Washington.
Hi, my name is Shane Asselstein. I'm the Tech Integration Specialist at Momiani Elementary School in Oahu, Hawaii.
I like how you pause dramatically. Like, let me let everybody know where I'm from. So what we wanted to talk about this afternoon was two things. One, we're doing this Hack the Classroom thing tonight, and we're focusing a lot on Minecraft and Code Builder for Minecraft and coding specifically. So what I wanted to ask the two of you about first, actually, is I know you both teach coding in some way, shape, or form, and it's a core piece of what you do, but you work with different ages of students. So it'd be good to hear maybe first from you, Shane, with younger students, what types of things you're using coding for in the classroom, and then Melissa, kind of the same question as well.
Great. So we actually start coding in kindergarten at our school, and so last year our greatest coder was 3,000 lines of code in 1 year per kindergarten, which is pretty awesome. We have kindergartners making apps and things like that, but what we're really using it for at lower L is to understand sequencing and logic and order and things like that. Understanding that there's a way of doing things that'll solve a problem, and not that there's only one way, but that there's several ways to get the same solution. In upper L, we're trying to integrate things like game design. We're trying to introduce bigger concepts like if-then statements, conditionals, events, and things like that. And then we try to use that along with game-based learning, and we use Minecraft as well to try to make that connection. So when you do this in Minecraft, it's an if statement, right, and a when statement, and then they see it more clearly. So yeah.
And then Melissa, how do you do it with your students?
I think the important part to do is to carry on that same conversation about those words. Like if you're talking about loops, if you're talking about programming, it's the idea of carrying it on into the next level. So when more schools are talking about bringing in computational thinking, it becomes that piece where we really just need to keep that idea fresh. Like we need to keep talking about those ideas. So we have Kathy joining us, and she'll probably talk a little bit about what she's going to show us today. But the idea would be teaching people how to program something quickly and efficiently, and talking about elegant code as you're doing it.
So thank you for joining us. So this is Kathy. Would you introduce yourself and let us know what you do for a living? And also, we're talking a little bit about Hack the Classroom tonight. So if you could share a little bit of a preview about the stuff you'll be talking about this evening.
Sure. So I'm Kathy Chow Isaacs, and I just finished my second year as the lower school educational technology specialist at an independent school in New York City. And tonight I'll be doing a demonstration of Code Builder, which is a new add-on for Minecraft. And I think I forgot the rest of the question. So yes, I'll be doing a demo and talking about how we used it with our students this year.
So a question for all of you, anybody can start, is we hear a lot about people saying, I know both as a teacher and as a parent, oh, well, you should teach code. Code is important. Everybody needs to learn to code. But I don't get a lot beyond that of just you should code because you need to. And it ends up as like, well, you should memorize all 50 states and capitals because you need to. And so I know there's value there. I know obviously I work with colleagues that are software engineers by trade. But it'd be great if any of the three of you want to talk about, even if you don't end up in a software engineering career path, what are the values and kind of the skills you see developing in your students when they're interacting with code?
I guess I'll start. One of the biggest things I like is the computational thinking that's there, and understanding that although computational thinking is not only about this, but breaking down big problems. You ever wonder why a kid stares at a blank piece of paper and goes, I don't know what to do? Because they're looking at it as this big, huge problem. Whereas if they look at it as smaller problems, and Kathy's going to go into this later on too as well, you get to start to see how these little problems get solved, and eventually the bigger problem gets solved. And one of the other great things in our class is if Miss Renchi here was to ask me for help, I try to teach my kids, don't point to it. Ask her questions like, so what do you see as new? What are you trying to accomplish? What have you tried so far? And slowly, Miss Renchi will start clicking and going, asking those questions on her own. Right? And those kinds of things, that mindset change is really, I think, what we're trying to do. Mm-hmm. So code is just that word for all of that stuff.
Well, and the thing I come back to is the whole concept that right now we're in kind of a revolution in terms of more and more computer science words are coming into everybody's dialogue. Like next gen science standards are talking about engineering. They're talking about computational thinking. We're not getting away from it. So the more we can teach that terminology and how it ties into things that we talk about all the time, like the writing process and editing and rethinking content and fixing your code and problem solving, like all of those things we're not getting away from. And as we can kind of bring that into like every kind of phase of education, it's going to make more sense. And that way teachers can bring it into their other subjects as well.
Yeah, I just see that when we teach code and computational thinking and debugging, that carries over into every other curricular area. So, like Shane was saying before, the kids they see the big problem and they can't break down the problems, and then they get stopped. So, if we're teaching them computational thinking and coding, then it's like, oh wait, I can do this bit by bit instead of being like, oh my gosh, that's a huge problem and I cannot, right? So it helps them get past being stopped.
So one of the next questions for you guys is, so the Code Builder for Minecraft does a lot of different things, a lot of different platforms. I was doing a demo this morning. You did a little bit of a demo this morning too in the classroom. And there's kind of a lot of different aspects of it to cover, all of which are kind of cool in their own way. Is there something any of you have picked up on where when release Code Builder for Minecraft, you're like, oh, it does this thing right here. This is the thing that's really valuable for me and my students?
Oh, well, for me, I think that for me, I like problem solving. And I found that there were a lot of kids that I was working with that preferred the problem solving over just open creativity. And so for them, they loved it. For me, I was like, this is the answer. I can make this happen rather than just seeing it happen. So.
It sounds kind of strange to say this because Minecraft's a virtual world, but that virtual world is just as real to some of these kids out there as this book is, as this horse is. And what's interesting is I look at that as another way to bring physical computing out. So you do the unplugged activities, you do the digital stuff, right? But it's in an abstract type of format. But then when you actually hit that run button and you see a robot move, you see your agent move, you see that stuff happen, it makes it a whole new level of learning for them.
Well, for my classes, because I'm teaching AP Computer Science Principles, I tie into those big ideas, those 7 big ideas that they talk about. So they talk about, how you're going to do your logic and what you're going to do with algorithms and abstraction. And all of those work so well with Code Builder and being able to demonstrate this. And then even better, having students demonstrate their logic behind why they think that's an algorithm or why they look at this as a program to run and solve a problem.
Awesome. So the last question that I ask everybody is, and any of you can start, is later today, I'm sure one or more of you will walk by a teacher who's never used Minecraft before, never used Code Builder. They've seen us with t-shirts and stickers and these cute booklets and all that kind of jazz. And they say, typically, how do I get started? Or what can you teach with this? When people come up out of the blue and ask you how you can get started with Minecraft, what do you tell them?
What's our 30-second elevator speech? Is that what you're looking for? Absolutely. 28 seconds, okay. I tell them that the best thing to do is to play. Watch somebody play. Ask some kids. And I know it seems humbling, but ask that 8-year-old to come and show you. When you tell me that a kid is not very good at school, doesn't like writing, doesn't like this, but they can sit there for an hour and tell you what they were going to do and how they were going to do it in such great detail, you're just missing the mark on what they were interested in. That's an interest level thing. That's not an academic thing.
Well, and I look at it like the best way to get started is do what we tell our kids to do. If I want my kids to do partner programming, maybe I do that with somebody else. And I actually have a kid alongside of me, a student with me, showing me how to do something, then I can show them an application. So it just means that you just make it relevant. And I think that's what you were saying too, but I think it's a good point. And just one last thing, I was thinking about this with the student in particular. I was having a hard time getting him engaged in a project, and then he had already been reading The Great Gatsby. So for me to say to him, why don't you go get started and rebuild, not only Gatsby's house, but also create the other houses around there. He had a great application for that, and it made sense to him. And then I have it now for my language arts teacher.
Oh, awesome. So I think also I agree with Shane and Melissa to just start playing. And, it's a great way to connect with your students because that's what they want to talk about. And if you're just starting, it's also a great way to learn is to talk to the kids because they know so much about it and they want to share that with you. That's all they want to do is they could talk Minecraft all day. So becomes a place for them to be the experts and for you to be the student and for them to teach. So.
I forgot to add, you also have the wonderful resource of all of these mentors.
Oh yes.
Hello, we also do that too. You can reach out to any one of us, and Neil is awesome too.
Just you.
So, just we're all more than welcome to. We've been supporting it for who knows, I don't even know how long now, but we've been supporting it, and we're there to help, and whatever you need.
Yep. So we have 60 mentors with us. I think now we actually have 62 mentors now from 20 countries, because getting 19 was tough because it was hard to remember. So we needed to get to 20. And I know some of you are coming and joining us at 2 o'clock here at ISTE for a takeover. So it'll be just mentors on stage talking about it, because I love to talk about myself, but it's way better for the three of you and more to tell us about your experiences. If you want to come by room 221A and see us live, you're more than welcome to. We also have Minecraft classroom sessions going on in room M6, and the Microsoft booth here at ISTE is booth 1700. Come on by, get one of these super snazzy booklets. Has a control guide here in the middle. Let's see how good I am. It's like being in a car show. And we have a sticker page here at the back. I know, right? I bid $499. And thank you very much. It's my goal in life. And if you find a student that's super interested in Minecraft, you can probably grab one and sell this to them for $499. So with that, thank you to the three of you yet again for spending your time with us. And we will be back in a little while later this afternoon. So follow us on Twitter, PlayCraftLearn, and use the hashtag MinecraftEDU and ISTE17. Thank you very much, everybody.